And I really, it had a time when this person was lamenting that you couldn't win no road march with an onslaught of lyrics. But as he grew older, I think that he mastered the art of epic storytelling and maintained authentic road march energy. Where's the poetry in Carry It by Bunji Garlin? Alright, so much to unpack in this song. Firstly, although it's not a traditional Western narrative where you have rising action, climax, etc., it appears to be a memoir-like narrative. So it is a narrative because Garlin presents snippets of a previous time when the people carried the fete atmosphere. The song is not only expertly written but also laden with social commentary and does work similarly to the practitioners of calypso, spoken word and reggae. Is a revolutionary piece. As a matter of fact, this may be the most revolutionary tone soca I ever hear. So let's talk about theory in it, because revolution depends on theory. And the song reminisces so that one is forced to think about the nature of Carnival now. A year or so ago, we heard Mr. Wendell Manwaring from Canal expressing his regret for the commercialization of Carnival with fete prices and all them things, and how they exclude middle and lower income folks and segregated the Juve experience with actual ropes, which is anti-everything Juve was about historically. So I think Manwaring contributing to what we call post-colonial theory, which examines concepts of exclusion and how people survive after the effects of colonialism and how wealth could segregate people. And Garlin, in my opinion, also questions what happened to the Carnival of Liberation, where the people own the experience. Now, Garlin is a gangster kind of man, and he dismisses them people who tell him to stop living in the past, because he is searching for a story that will find and generate strength of a people. This line furthers these questions. He said, "We used to see the downtown massive and the uptown massive with no fences to separate. Downtown and uptown, different people, where there's different communities, where there's different wealth, class, etc." Isn't that particular concept grounded in post-colonial theory and anti-capitalist sentiment, where we are moving without that segregation? That is kind of like the same thing Manwaring was speaking of, not so? So the ground itself is a metaphor for Trinidad and Tobago's lower to middle income citizens who found the real liberation in their Carnival experiences. The fact that he is reminiscing means that he may be sad over the loss of something. The line, "cause we strong when we carry it," is a poor reason, an empowering line, and maybe a clarion call for the people to re-own their Carnival. Garlin's narrative is tight, it's watertight, as he finds different parts in the song to highlight the power of the ground. So he starts with a metaphor when he asks, where can he find the magic of the grassroots people? Give the grassroots people magic. And he then calls communities directly to call their attention to the cause of carrying the Carnival experience. All the community call, Maloney must call. So he mixes the same metaphor of the ground with personification by simply stating that the ground is carrying it. Now, what is personification? That is when you give human qualities to a non-human entity. So, the ground carrying it is the personification, and the personification is tied to the understanding that the ground is who? The people. As such, throughout the piece, the ground becomes a character. My favorite line is, "Them time the lords of the ghetto did say, make sure nothing else echo but song." Goodness gracious, I didn't know how much thing we could unpack in that line. This is soca we're talking about here, folks. This soca is poetically almost perfect. The lords of the ghetto. That is a metaphor for like gang leaders, or as they'd call them, community leaders, who said that nothing else should echo but song. Essentially, what Garlin's saying here is that the gang leaders gave commands here all going on. Them threaten them, keep the space safe. And he also referenced it as a safe space before. So the metaphor is part of the memoir narrative, as Garlin could also be insinuating that the sense of order that existed even in the ghetto, even among gangs, is no longer there, and the ground could be weaker because of this. All that social commentary Garlin pelting out there. On a literary note, when he says nothing should echo but song, echo is referring to bow bow, the sound of guns, and that is a device that you tend to use in your second draft of writing. But knowing Garlin's talent, he probably freestyled that. The device used is called a synecdoche. This device is from the metaphor family, where part of something or a characteristic of something is used to represent the whole thing. So echo is a characteristic of gunshot. So instead of Garlin really saying, make sure there are no gunshots, just song, he advanced the imagery by using the synecdoche. Watch now, this song is so well written, I could talk about this for a while. Write a thesis on this. Now, in my non-threatened literary opinion, I think that a road march should represent not just what people want, but the actual essence of the voice of the people. And I mean, this happened a few times in the past, even up to DNA. DNA kind of represented like, yeah, this is Trinidad. And if that was the criteria for road march, it have no other road-worthy rhythm that even remotely close to what Garlin is doing in Carry It. The way Garlin captures the potential strength of the people is phenomenal. On the poetry scale, we're going all the way up. 10 out of 10. There's the poetry in Carry It by Bunji Garlin. Listen, all references we use and the lyrics to anything we use are right in the description below this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you appreciated the content, and if there's some text that you want us to analyze, just drop it in the comments below. We'll get to it and find out where's the poetry.